topic nicely. So, Om Shanti and welcome everyone. So, lovely topic today. So, when love heals the mind. Okay, so let's look at this topic when love heals the mind. And for each one of you to just think of a time when you felt deeply loved, and how did your mind feel at that time? So you felt deeply loved, and how did your mind feel at that time? And so this topic of when love heals the mind. So take yourself to a time when you felt deeply loved and not judged or fixed, and just accepted for who you are. And when you felt that unconditional love. Some unmuted, I'll just mute them. So when you felt unconditionally loved, and how did your mind feel at that moment? So any thoughts? So when you felt so loved, how did the mind feel? Yeah. Calm, so rested. Yeah, so a piece of rest. Yeah, and anything else? Safe. Yeah. So you didn't feel threatened, isn't it? And so, and you didn't have to be somebody you're not. You could just be yourself. And so, so when we feel deeply loved, the mind does feel healed. And so, this topic, when love heals the mind, and definitely we've all had experiences where we were just held in love, and even if it was small little like momentary experiences of conditional love and unconditional love, and then it may have changed, but we felt very safe and secure, and like anything was possible. I'm not alone, and I can do this, isn't it? So definitely deep support that we also feel, and the mind can just rest. I don't have to try and fix something or be something or be somewhere. I'm at home, isn't it? So love creates the feeling of coming home to my innocent self, like the commentary shared, and also coming home to truth. Uh, and it feels like very heavenly, isn't it, when you think of that true love and coming back to that. And yet, what makes this mind hurt and wounded? So whilst we know what love does, how is it that the mind gets hurt or wounded in many ways as well? Any thoughts? How is it the contrast? So when we feel loved, definitely there's that feeling of rest, possibility, stability, safety, and yet the contrast when we're feeling, otherwise, what happens at that moment? And so to understand, what type of thoughts in the mind create that feeling of restlessness and woundedness. Yeah. Any thoughts?
Can it be rejection?
Sorry. Yes.
Rejection and
Rejection.
lack of
Yeah.
love. You're not being trusted, being abandoned, alone.
Yes. So feeling of rejection, abandonment, alone. So yes, great. And somebody said when you feel loved, you feel happy. And yes, so definitely. And so rejection, and even when there's that absence of love, and the mind is hurt, there's rejection. It could be feelings of shame, guilt, unresolved grief, even feeling like you should be someone else. So comparison. So to an extent, and somebody sharing betrayal, despondency. So yes, so all these aspects that create woundedness in the heart as well. And yeah, and so can I understand, the mind and its wounds, and how it gets hurt and it is affected, but who creates that feeling of rejection and woundedness and guilt, comparison? Yourself. Yeah. So it's not an outside job, because people are offering it to you, but you take it, so so yeah, so somebody is rejecting you, but fine, they can reject you, but inside, can you stay safe and belonging? I remember, as I'm talking, a scene came into my mind. It was my second year of work, community service, and so I just joined a cardiology department, and I was there, and it was a big team, and so and then I had leave due, and I wanted to go to India on my annual meditation retreat. And so I got permission, and got my leave signed, because it's so good to have your refresher every year in our headquarters. And so, and then suddenly, this was, I think, in March. Uh, I would walk into the room and everyone would be quiet, all the other fellow colleagues, and maybe it was maybe eight of us, and then yeah, and so it was quite intense, the rejection, and and then I was rostered for 3 night calls the week I was leaving. One night call to finish the morning, and then I must fly. So day and night, 36 hours in that department, because we'd start 8 in the morning and finish 6 p.m. the next day. And because we were short staffed, and so yeah, and then it means like carrying your breakfast, lunch, supper, breakfast, lunch. And so, so it was quite an ordeal. But, I just, every time it was a new system, 2004. So I'd be dragging my laptop and taking notes and doing my work, I just think, if I have no one else, at least I have you, so if I have, because, it's like it was felt like extreme rejection, because nobody would speak, and then rostering me and not changing those shifts, and so I still had to do that shift before I flew off, and then yeah, but and then I would just pay attention that I don't create negative energy, and created a positive environment. And yeah, and then the secretaries were observing everything. And so the secretaries, that next morning, eating my wheat picks, you know, after having a quick shower, the secretaries were saying, "We observed you, and you just came out shining through all of this." And there I was, legs crossed, eating my wheat picks, and really felt so held in that week of extreme adversity and physical challenge. And yeah, and then my colleagues, the ones who were rejecting, the ones said, "Oh, I'm going to apply for a radiology post. Please pray for me."
And they knew you were going.
And the other one, also said, when you had begun and you had taken that leave, I didn't like you, but now I just love you. But just the impact of, don't absorb the junk, so because it's wounded people trying to wound you, so hurt people. So people will do what they need to do. Many shared about alienation, rejection, betrayal. People will do what they need to do, but how do I respond? What do I need to do? And so I can do it. Let me rely on nothing from outside. take my strength from within and from above. And and just, remind yourself, and so I would say, if I have nobody, at least I have you. And just doing what I had to do. And so this whole feeling that I hurt my mind when I absorb what others project onto me. And it's a choice, do they make me feel inadequate and then I start to feel inadequate, or do they want me to feel guilty about something that I don't need to feel guilty about, or do I feel guilty about something that is the past, and playing that sad song is not going to help me. And so rejection, and if you think about it, your harshest critique is yourself, actually. So you may not have constant challenges with others, but you do live with yourself. And so what is that relationship with yourself? Maybe, you've been working with others, but you don't even know how much you criticize yourself. And so yes, where there's love, then it heals the mind. And so to look at my own relationship with myself. So to what extent, do I have, a very harsh relationship with myself? And if I had to ask you, who speaks kindly, as you do to others, to yourself? So do you speak more kindly to others or to yourself?
That's the thing.
Yes, somebody saying that's the thing. So yes, so to be able to, observe my own language with myself, because, they say we treat others as we treat ourselves. So it starts with me. Even if I want to improve my treatment of others genuinely, because sometimes it can be face value that I'm nice, I try and control my voice. But when I'm tired and ratty, then I cannot control that. And often we have very little tolerance of ourselves, but it's so quiet that you don't even know it's happening on a very deep level. So that's why it's important to observe and change your dialogue with yourself. So this week we've been doing radio interviews on true love, and so and then I'm always saying the first relationship is with yourself, and what is your relationship with yourself? And it makes me think as well, what is my relationship with myself, and how nurturing and kind and empowering and loveful is it? And when people ask for one simple method to begin that journey of true love, I said, as soon as you wake up, no other thoughts, but just hello, beautiful. And so, but do you wake up and do that, or do you say, oh, I have to do this, I don't know if I can do that? And so with what energy do I greet myself every morning? With what kindness do I accept how challenging the day may have been at the end of the day? Like I would comfort a friend, can I comfort myself with the aim to, improve and also to validate, yourself? Because we're often waiting for that validation from outside, but you're going to wait forever because people are tired, and the world is not getting easier for anyone. And so the importance of developing that loveful relationship with yourself first, and making time for that, concertedly, with conviction, with determination, I will choose, my relationship with myself, and like maybe create a program for yourself, that in the next month, I will have shifted my relationship to another level with myself. So first myself. And and that can do a lot of healing, when I can heal that relationship with yourself. Because if you personify yourself as like another individual, and they speak to you how you speak to yourself, or they put you down as they do, you would react to that. But somehow we seem to just accept that broken relationship we have with ourselves. And can I change that? Because it starts with me. And so that is why, in this organization, our daily study reinforces how wonderful we are and how precious you are, how powerful you are, a rightful child. And because everyone lacks self-respect and self-worth and self-love. We've separated ourselves from that source of unconditional love with time, and then we killed that relationship with ourselves, and then we're expecting others to fix us, but they can't fix us, definitely. And so can I heal my relationship with myself? And in many ways, just observe how you hurt yourself. Worrying is hurting yourself, overthinking, and then trying to defend, reacting. So when I'm creating any negative energy that takes me away from my truth, and that safe space of that living energy that I am, the being in the human, then I'm hurting myself. So every moment I step out and go into overthinking, fear, all of that kills that innate love. So to just see how I cut off that relationship of love with the eternal self, and I try and suffer and try and fix everything myself. Very hard work, and yet I could just let love is a very flowing energy, isn't it? I could just let love flow into everything, and I could have a wholesome relationship with myself and let that flow into my tasks, into my relationships, into everything. So love is not a stuck energy, but a very flowing, benevolent energy. And so to just check how I may wound myself, and to understand how, whilst love heals the mind, what type of patterns create that restlessness and peacelessness and insecurity, and devalues the self. Because you only live with yourself, and you only take yourself with you when you leave that eternal light that you are. So if you haven't healed that relationship, you're going to go broken, no matter how many psychotherapy appointments you have. So we might take that support, but we have to do the work. So do the work to heal that relationship with myself, and so important. And it's easier to speak about than to do, because we all need to do the work. But just see the contrast and see what you need to do now. Because when you look at unconditional love, life is easy, life is blissful. But when you look at everything else, life is stressful, life is hard, life is laborious, isn't it? But when you're in love, oh, no matter what happens, you're just smiling away. And so yes, not just love with another, fall in love with yourself. And so then you can smile away no matter what another is throwing at you. And so something to think about, if you think about the power of love, and how it can make somebody really feel so lifted, so beyond. And so it's a very powerful energy. But can I do the same for myself? Creating that energy. And so there's also like there's three levels of healing love, and we've been speaking about that first one, so self-love, and definitely that is not based on the body and my roles and responsibilities, and yet it's intrinsic to every human being, that love. And so it's about really making time to get to know that loving energy that I am, and to feel it, not just talk about it and say, I am love, I am peace, but peace we can sort of get. Love, do we get it? And so yeah, can you really create that abundant giving energy that flows into you first? It's something to think about, and so just to reflect on just a short little exercise. If I loved myself, what would I stop doing? So just ask yourself and maybe put it in the chat. And those of you who want to share, if I loved myself, I would stop. What would you stop? And then if I loved myself, what would I start or begin to do from today, from this moment? It's nice to name it so I can remember it, and with determination begin this journey. So just to reflect for yourself. And you can shout it out. Shout. So that you can remember what you're going to do.
Stop scolding myself.
So she's going to stop scolding herself.
Stop calling myself an idiot.
Stop calling myself an idiot.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
because we always say, why are you so stupid? Why you did this?
Yes. Yeah.
Because you always defining yourself.
Yes. Yeah. And and there's power in words, So so stop defaming yourself, telling yourself, oh, so stupid, and and why do we even do that?
I do this?
Yeah.
I'm so stupid.
Yeah, you'd be so careful to use that words on another, but why do you take liberty to have that words with yourself? No, so yes. So that's a wonderful shift. And what will you start doing?
Start focusing on my inner self.
Yes, so start focusing on really seeing, hearing, appreciating, valuing the true intrinsic self, the soul. And so every morning, can you hear what you're whining about? And and feel heard. So you don't have to wait for someone to hear you, or to see you, because you've heard and seen yourself already. So every morning, can I, just listen and be honest with what's inside, because it's okay, after lifetimes of challenges, we should accept where we're at and have a lot of love and mercy, isn't it, for ourselves. So we don't have to be perfect. That's also a trap, perfection, but we should lovingly guide ourselves to wholesomeness, so can I just accept and feel I can voice what's happening, and then remind myself of who I really am, and the power of this being that I am. And so yes, so something to think about, that I could start practicing today, with conviction, so that I can assess, in a month what's changed, and everything will change if I change my relationship with myself. Yeah, and so important. Maybe create a program of love, and then you can celebrate your 1 month date. So, sorry, that's so funny. Yes, your 1 month anniversary. So yes, learn from the ways of the world and to honor your own relationship. And and then the second important healing aspect of love is really, and for me it was the most divine part of learning about love, was learning about a divine God's love for me. And because even as a little child, always restless, trying to figure out where I fitted in and belonged, and so stressed to make the world perfect. and, and then when I felt divine love, nothing mattered. I felt like I was floating about. And so I didn't need to fix anything. I didn't need to fix myself or fix others or fix the world, because I was complete. And so that divine love, can I uh, understand how important that is as well? Because like somebody mentioned today, that aspect of alienation, loneliness, sometime in some birth we've been separated from some significant relationship. And I think God is the most significant relationship we got separated from. And so if I can heal that relationship and make it real, and not a relationship that I projected other people's relationships onto, and I chose to cut off from, which happens. And so can I really feel God's vision of me, God's love for me? Because God is really an unconditionally loving, unlimited ocean. He's not trying to save some of his current for I don't know who, but he's just unlimited, benevolent, like an ocean, giving so much. But the problem is I don't accept. So the problem's not on that side; it's on my side, that I have blocked the energy because of uh, limited beliefs, or because of my own attitude to myself, maybe feeling I don't deserve love. Who knows what we think? No, that's why it's important to look at that. And and to see beyond all of those old behaviors that didn't serve us, and just be open to that flow and gush of love from that source. And not in name only and at the level of words, but a real loving relationship, so that God is not something on a pedestal that I must fear, but an energy that just absolutely loves me. And we've heard of that when people had near-death experiences, no? They said, why did you bring me back? Because it was so nice up there. When they floated out of the body towards that tunnel and that unconditionally loving light. And so many get, quite upset that they had to come back, because they felt so held, so accepted, so valued, whilst being in the body feels like pressure and stress and too much work. And so yes, I remember a friend's mother, Catholic. She told him, Brother Ken's mother, don't you dare grieve at my funeral. You must have a big celebration, because this felt so nice. I didn't want to come back, but her near-death experience that she had. So they really did have a celebration 21 years later, because she had a part for another 21 years. But yes, so this whole aspect of just making sure that there is that flow of current, there is that flow from that ocean of love, because it does heal my mind, then I don't need to be anywhere, be anyone, be anything. I am just content, isn't it? And I can just be, because how often we're feeling so restless, because we're trying to prove maybe to ourselves that we're worthy, that we deserve love, we're good children. But God doesn't see if you're a good child or a bad child. He can't even see all your actions. He just sees little lights, and he sees sometimes they're a little dim, and then he has that pure wish that you can just connect and fill up, so that's what God sees. He doesn't see what you did and what you said, but he's seeing your frequency, of energy, and how bright you're shining and how you're not shining and why you're not shining. He doesn't know, but you can have a conversation and try and unpack how you can allow that energy to flow. So very important in your meditation is looking at your relationship with the higher source. I remember, in my early years of meditation, I was in our retreat center in Oxford, and I sat there for hours just saying, God, I know you love me so much, but why can't I feel it? And then I had like two lovely flashbacks, and I could see, that's why I cut you off. And so sometimes you cut God off, but if you sincerely from your heart want to understand yourself, and you do share that with God, he does support you to understand yourself, so it's so important to see God as that support, and see how how you may choose to limit the absolute potential of that loveful relationship in healing you and the mind and all the gaps. It's like that being can pour so much golden love into all the cracks, and you can become whole again. In one of our advanced classes, it said that your heart was shattered in so many pieces, thousands of pieces, and now I've come to put your heart back together. So it's beautiful, eh? So with golden love, so because we gave our heart to this and that and that and that, to roles, responsibilities, actions, people, and it didn't fill us up. But you give your heart to one, and it will stay whole, and you can take that whole heart into everything and to everyone. So it's not that you have less of a relationship with anyone, but you'll have a wholesome relationship. A relationship where you come complete, not broken. So the problem nowadays is got broken people trying to have relationships with broken people, and it's a big mess, and it doesn't last too long. And so yes, so the importance of becoming whole, complete. So I take all of me to a powerful relationship where each one is a master. So the love of God can do that healing, so that I can be whole, and I can share that then with everyone. And the third aspect of love as healing energy is so first self-love, then receiving divine love, and then the third one is giving love, and that's also healing. Because remember, I said love is a flow of energy. So self-acceptance, one flow. Second flow, God's energy of love filling me in that relationship. And the third is sharing that love. And so it's like, if a lake is stagnant, it becomes full of froth. But if a lake is flowing, that love is flowing, then you feel wholesome, you stay clean, and others benefit. So it's not only about fixing your relationship with yourself, with you and God, but the third aspect is also giving love, and that's also very healing. So whilst we take care that we build our worth but also then share that with others, see others in their state of worth, uh, you know, listen deeply, see them, hear others, forgive, and see beyond the limited to the unlimited. So can I see souls, not bodies, because when I see bodies, they come with their whole story and what they did 40 years ago. but when I see souls, then uh, you know souls are lights. We all love a candlelight, isn't it? It just changes the atmosphere in the room. So when you're meeting somebody who really presses your buttons, see the candlelight and change the atmosphere in the room, so that you don't feel like, oh, this one again, but that beautiful light. And so that practice, and then you just want to share your light with that light. And so giving is also very important, to see beyond the limited, and who in the world really needs love versus my rejection, because as soon as I withhold my love, it's a rejection. So and often we do withhold because when somebody, maybe with history with you walks in, and then you want to turn around and go in another direction, or you're there but you're suppressing something, you're withholding love, and you're making yourself sick anyway. So just let it flow, not to the person, but that body, but the soul, and just have so much mercy, because that too is a child of God, who lost their way so badly that they're creating mayhem in the drama. But that's not your responsibility to change them. Your responsibility is to experience the power of changing your own attitude to the person or the situation. Yeah. And so, yeah, so that importance of that third step is giving love is also healing, and not to one or two, because that's attachment, but to everyone, and where there's attachment and familiarity, there's contempt. Because what happens is, then I'm nice to you, and then it becomes transactional. Then I want you to be nice to me, and you're not nice to me. And then I feel hurt and rejected. Then I reject myself, and then and so don't create unhealthy relationships that you're bound to fall into a trap of feeling rejected and hurt. So you set yourself up for that trap. So be clean in your relationship, like a good mother would encourage mastery in the child, not subservience and dependency, because they want the child to be strong, so like that with yourself. Can I not encourage dependency and subservience, but wholesomeness, so let's do a meditation then, and on this love, and and then we can look at questions if anything comes up. So I invite you now to sit comfortably in your seat and relax. And I take a deep breath in, just breathing in peace. As I breathe out all the stale air in my lungs. And as I'm seated here, I scan my whole body and invite every muscle of this body to become totally relaxed. And now, with one thought, I visualize a soft, beautiful light in the center of my forehead. so gentle and yet so powerful. And I see this light underneath all the layers of all the activity, my roles, my stressors. Underneath everything is this amazing spark of living energy that I truly am, that shines constantly, tirelessly. And so, with so much appreciation and gratitude for this light, my heart swells with love for this light that I am, that has been on a long journey. And now I come home, looking outward has created more and more restlessness. And now I turn within and I taste the peace and power of this loving light. I am love. And so let me allow this love that I am to fill my mind. This light of love breaks through all old patterns that only depress my light. And so if there's harsh words that I may speak to the self, I just shine some love and light into that old relationship. I fill my mind with love and light, mercy and compassion for this beautiful child that has worked so hard to keep it all together, but can now relax. Because where there's love, everything is easy. Everything is possible. And then just in one thought, this beautiful light floats upward toward that ocean of unconditionally loving light. Pure, powerful love. So simple and yet so profound. And that ocean just washes all over me, filling this light with so much love. That light sees me. And no matter what, that light accepts me and lifts me up to the world. And it is a matter of my choice to be open to that love. Can I see what that light sees in me? I allow the love of that light to just fill up all the cracks in this broken heart. healing my relationship with myself. I am worthy. I deserve love. I am love. I don't have to do anything to be loved. But when I let go and float up to that supreme light, I can experience the power of pure love. And so let nothing hold me back from the complete relationship, the only relationship that can allow me to be so full and then naturally feeling accepted and seen and heard. That currents of love flow to fill me up, to overflow in all directions, to surround the earth with love. I, this light of love, held in an ocean of love, embraces the earth and every human light with so much love and mercy. And as love flows, the mind heals. I heal my first relationship with the self. I'm healed in that unconditional relationship. And as I share that love and give that love, my mind begins to rest. And now gently I bring my awareness back here and putting my hand on my heart. How do I feel? The heart says thanks. See me. Love me. Be loved. And share love. Shanti, thank you. So yeah, just to observe how wonderful it feels when we tap into that energy of love, isn't it? And yeah, and so really, we don't need more chiding of ourselves, and we need more love. And you can't wait for it from outside, and you'll never get it. And even if people are loving, you won't accept it if you don't change that relationship with yourself, you know? So yeah, because it's so important to see the self and feel that love. So we don't need more force. We've been quite forceful with ourselves. We need more love. And yeah, and when there is that love, then definitely the mind heals. And then I feel like don't need to do anything. I've achieved everything, isn't it? That was my experience when I started meditating, just that feeling that, I found everything now. What? you know? So that contentment that you feel with love. So wonderful. Any thoughts or questions in the room or from anyone on Zoom? Yes, so this is the Cape Town Center that we're chatting from in Claremont. So wonderful to, so there was a few sharing about some thoughts as we were chatting. So thanks for interacting in the workshop. Sorry I missed some of your comments, but wonderful. So yes, somebody was sharing, I need to stop despising myself and celebrate myself. So if you look at the words, that we use towards our relationship, it's quite strong, but not in a good way. So we can change it, have a plan and change it, and enjoy your company. Have a lovely, as we said, celebrate your 1 month date. So yes, so lovely. So we will leave you with a beautiful song, and those in the room can get cake today. And the rest of you are welcome to come join us in the Cape Town Center. So let me play a song.